G'day everyone. So just want to share a few observations today from a customer service perspective. As you know, I measure customer service all day, every day in our mystery shopping business. And today I had three phone calls with clients, or one meeting and 2 phone calls. And really interesting that the complications that are being introduced to the sales process are just driving things a little bit insane. So let me give you an example. Now, a lot of places have these like 10 steps of selling or 5 levels of sales achievement or all these sort of things that you've got to go step by step by step by step. And the salespeople are kind of like, well, yeah, that's fine, but it's pretty complicated. So here's what happens is you'll get questions like, you'll have to question the customer 3 or 4 times, or let's call it twice, to establish their needs. And then you'll have to ask them some more questions along the sales process. And then you have to ask them more things about, well, did I understand your needs properly? So you might want to paraphrase what they're talking about. And then you've got to do things like reevaluate what they've wanted. You've got to reassess their needs. You've got to do a whole lot of stuff. And what happens is that the staff members get totally confused and get caught up in these steps, and they're missing the human interaction. Now, my job in mystery shopping is to go, well, like, yeah, let's measure what's going on in the stores, and to have a really clear process makes a lot of sense, and it makes it easy for us to measure. But you got to look at it and say, well, hang on, is it the best thing in the best interest of the company? And let me give you the example. If I'm a staff member who's really struggling with the brand, or I've been at the place for 6 months and I'm kind of really struggling, and I say to myself, well, gee, I'll just go through the process. That's okay, but you're not connecting with the customer. So you might go through the 5 steps or the 10 steps to sales enlightenment or some crap like that, but you're missing the human interaction. So when we come in from a mystery shopping perspective, we'll look at that customer and go, yep, they ticked all the boxes. They did everything right. That's cool. But the problem is that they might not have connected and they might not have gotten the sale because the customer's just walked away unengaged. On the flip side, you might have a staff member that goes, well, hey, on the flip side, yeah, you'll have a staff member that just kind of intuitively knows what's going on with the staff member. And they say, well, I know what this customer needs, and they sell to them directly. They sell to them and they kind of intuitively go, I think you might need this product. This one will really help you because of. So they won't go through all the steps, but they're going to actually get the sale. Now, from a perspective of measurement, the person who got the sale is going to be disadvantaged because they didn't go through these, I think, moronic steps. Whereas the person who went through the moronic steps and would never get the sale is going to get scored very highly. Same's going to happen in call centers. The person who goes through the steps and the call center managers listen into the conversations, they're the ones that are going to be like, hey, you've done a great job. But no, you haven't. You haven't connected with people. So I think we have to really be careful of that. And this has come through time and time again in the last couple of days, especially. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the air, but people are trying to control everything and get this consistency. Now, I blogged about consistency just the other day. Actually, it was just earlier this morning, about how we're trying to make everything super consistent and super generic. That's all well and good, but we're losing this human flavor. We're not getting to the real connection with the customer. So I'll look at it also in terms of complaints. Complaints is an interesting one because you call someone up and you say, hey, look, I've got a problem with this, that, or the other. What people will do with complaints on the phone is I'll say, hey, I understand from why the reason you've called that you've got a problem with your modem. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, I've got a problem with my modem. And we waste time in these human interactions going through this whole re-paraphrasing everything that the customer said. It's like you've got a parrot on the other end of the phone going, hey, let me repeat what you've just said to me. So that sort of stuff as well. It's in the manual, it's in the step-by-step process. And the reason it's a step-by-step process is that we're trying to gather up, we're trying to scoop all of these people who probably wouldn't be that awesome at the job and put them into this nice little container where they can serve a customer. Problem is, I think we're disadvantaging the really awesome and switched on people who just know how to get to the root of the problem and get it sorted. So that's a little bit of an observation today from a couple of days phone calls that have happened recently. Yeah, so that's it for my first live video on this channel. Look forward to doing many more. Bye-bye.